This is IUST Robotics Club, and one of our ideas for Enable Hackathon revolves around modifying wheelchair. Our main aim is to improve mobility and independence for persons with disabilities who find it difficult to walk or can't walk at all, providing them manual transportation. Wheelchairs have definitely made life easier in transportation, but it's still a huge challenge for the user to shift from one place to another, as the users are always dependent on help in the form of attendees. So, how do we reduce that? How do we make it easy for the user? How are we going to increase their employability if they are dependent on attendees all the time? How can we increase their accessibility? How can we provide them with the perfect transportation? How can we help in providing them a life of dignity so that they won't ever feel embarrassed in doing even the smallest task? How do we remove their discomfort and the limitations? How do we do all this? How can we help them? What are the problems that we are facing? Majorly, it's the dependence of users on help in the form of attendee. They can move around on wheelchair, but when it comes to shifting from one place to other, for example, shifting from a wheelchair to any other furniture like sofa, beds or other chairs, for that an attendee is always needed, and that leads to increased cost, increase in efforts, that leads to increase in manpower, and this also increases discomfort for the user, making them feel that they are restricted in some manner. To solve this problem, we have a solution. Now, our solution is a hardware type solution and it's manual. Now, what material will we be using? Firstly, we will be using a friction material or polish providing maximum smoothness and least friction. Secondly, rollers and channels or ball bearings depending on what type of material we will be using. And thirdly, magnetic clamps, pressure clamps or metallic clamps. We can use any of these three clamps. So now, what is the solution? We are modifying the design of the wheelchair. In our design, the wheelchair has two panels, the upper panel and the lower panel. Let's talk about the upper panel first. Its upper side is cushioned on which the user sits, and the lower side is made of least friction material. And it also has two rollers or ball bearings attached at two parallel sides, front and the back. And the second panel is the lower panel, which is below the upper panel. Now, talking about the lower panel, its upper portion is made of least friction material, and this side comes in contact with upper panel's lower side, providing us a smooth motion between the two panels. Also, there are two parallel channels attached on the insides where the upper panel's rollers fits. Manually, this can be done by making the upper panel slide out on which the user is sitting, hence providing a shifting motion from wheelchair to any other furniture and vice versa. And this motion will always be in a downwards motion. It will always be inclined downwards. Before sliding out, the handle of the side, be it left or right side, it will go up, reducing restrictions for the user. The orange colored area, it is the area containing the low friction material or polish, providing a very less motion and providing a very This is our idea to slide out the upper panel or seat. Our wheelchair has adjustable height. User will always slide outwards and downwards. To achieve this, the height of the wheelchair will always be a few centimeters above the height of the furniture. For mobility of our wheelchair, it can also be made foldable. But we need to provide it stability first and comfort so that it won't topple or fall over. For that, we have clamps. To hold on to the surface or bend of the furniture on one side, we will be using clamps. They can be magnetic clamps, pressure clamps or metallic clamps. They will provide stability to the wheelchair, and this is going to be our first step To hold over a plane surface, magnetic or pressure clamps can be used. And for the bend in the furniture, adjustable metallic clamps can be used. In this picture, you can see that rollers or ball bearings are attached to the upper panel or seat. And the lower panel has a parallel channel in which this roller fits. This is the front view of roller or channel. When the upper panel is going to slide out, it will be adjusted over the clamps, and it will slide over the clamps for stability and support and will move on to the furniture. This is how it's going to look in the end, a wheelchair. And the user will be sitting on the seat, and he or she will be shifted outwards and downwards onto the furniture. And this is our final view. Thank you.